On the other hand, the situation around the choke point area is not looking so good. I think I'll need to send a couple of tanks and maybe helicopters around the side to try and get rid of those rockets. Once I take them out, the rest of my forces should have pretty free reign there. Actually, now that I think about it, I really should have made more tanks around that side. Well, at least I have my superpower. And I haven't used it yet because I want to save it for an opportunity where I can rush this area and try for a breakthrough, and then maybe rush the pipe with lots of units. Oh, that was a bit of a fail. Yeah, attacking very, very low HP tanks or anti-air units with machine gun units, often it can be a good thing to do, but sometimes it fails. He's going for his null power a lot here, and that could be bad. Yes, very bad. If this thing does more than usual... You know what, I guess that would be less. Anyway, yeah, Flak's normal and superpower, basically, yeah. I'll actually put details about them in the video description, I think. Basically, the thing about Flak is, when compared to Nell, who you won't be playing as in the campaign, but when compared to Nell, who I think it's superpower time, Max Blast! Okay, let's see if I can get around his side areas with helicopters. Anyway, what I was saying was, when compared to Nell, who also has luck-based bonuses, the difference, I think, between them is, okay, as far as I can tell, Flak's is an actual firepower bonus, which means that there's a chance his units actually get a significant offense bonus or an offense penalty when attacking. Nell's, well, she actually directly increases the actual damage the units do. That mightn't sound like a huge difference, but what it means is, like, her units have a chance of doing, like, a couple of points extra damage than they would normally. Which, the main thing is, I've seen it described in, I think, a walkthrough once, but it was ages ago, so I can't quite remember who did it. But basically what this person said was, oh yeah, here we go. Love doing that with Max, wiping out stuff instantly with tanks. And those rockets are gone, which is certainly very good for us here. Anyway, the difference between Nell and Flak, as described on a certain walkthrough, was that basically with Nell, you can sometimes see infantry taking out helicopters because of the extra points of damage. Like, really, I'm not exaggerating that actually does happen. Whereas with Flak, because his is an actual just straight firepower bonus, his infantry can't really do much damage to Neos, but Neos can easily take out other Neos. That's basically how it was described. Now it's time to hit that pipe. A couple more hits. The battlecopter should do it. I've lost 7 units out of 25. This is a good place to check if you're worried about your technique ranking. 7 out of 25, that's... yeah, you can't lose more than 20% of your total units created. Oh, nothing came out of the factory that time. Anyway, we're drawing closer to the end of this mission. So, I thought now would be a good time just to mention a bit of random trivia about Orange Star that I really didn't get a chance to say before. If you're watching this, you're probably thinking that their units look more red than orange. And yes, in the Japanese version, Orange Star was called Red Star, but they changed it in the English version to avoid potential communist undertones. Even though a lot of people say that Blue Moon actually seems directly influenced by Communist Russia in some ways. Okay, he has a big column of infantry, and if I can hit that artillery from the side... Yeah, having air support is really helpful. Clears out those indirect units so that your tanks can get through, which is good. Yeah, attacking from mountains is always a good thing to do. You want to be aware of it though when you're against Lash, because her units on mountains get a pretty huge attack bonus. Yeah, looks like we're starting to break through, which is good. Even though it really won't be achieving all that much, it'll be good for the power ranking. Which, now that I think about it, I've probably already satisfied by now. I don't really keep track of those things, except in the missions where power is a real issue. On that note, factory missions in general, not so much this one, but factory missions can be a bit of an issue with the power ranking. Because power is based on the maximum number of enemy units killed in one turn, compared to the total number of enemy units created, in later factory missions where the enemies just keep pumping out huge numbers of units through the factory, that can get a problem because their numbers can rise pretty fast, and if you don't take drastic measures to deal with the power ranking, well then, their numbers are going to get so high that you're never really going to be able to get an S rank in that area. So, the only real remedy to that problem is to finish the mission as quickly as possible. Basically, the reason for that is, the faster you finish the mission, the fewer units they're going to be able to create in that time, and thus the less you have to worry about power ranking. Oh, come on, how was I supposed to know a medium tank would come out of that factory? See, yeah, that's why I said before, try and stay away from the factory entrance unless you're trying to block it. Because, yeah, you never really know what will come out of there. Later on, you have factories that can produce air units, and that's really a nightmare. Yeah, I think I'm losing a few too many units around this choke point area. I could have done a lot better than this. I guess the previous missions must have just lulled me into a false sense of security, really. But we do have a few tanks that have actually broken through the choke point. And that's not actually going to matter because we only need one more hit on the factory pipe to destroy it. And we have a helicopter right next to it. So we've pretty much won here. This next part is just trying to destroy as much as possible to get a good power ranking. Again, even though I've probably already satisfied that, I generally don't really care about looking at those numbers before I've finished a mission. I'll explain, there are only a couple of missions where I had to actually look up a walkthrough only to check what the power requirement was for that mission. Other than that, generally just destroying as many units as you possibly can will probably get you a good power ranking. That's why generally going for victory by destroying all enemy units in standard victory conditions maps generally yields a better power score than capturing the headquarters. Of course, in a lot of missions, and mainly a lot of war room ones, capturing the headquarters is really the only realistic way to get an S rank for speed, so you really sort of have to do that. Now, yes, I should target something I can actually get rid of, because that'll help the power ranking. Yeah, so when it's your last turn and you know you're going to win anyway, target weakened things. Don't So basically, just weakening that medium tank wouldn't have done anything for my power ranking. But killing off that severely weakened infantry, for example, would. And I don't think there's anything else I can feasibly kill in this turn, so I think I can safely finish the mission.